Australia's F-35A stealth fighters may cost millions to bring up to a fighting standard. Australia's two shiny new F-35 strike fighters may never go to war, needing some 160 modifications to make their model combat-worthy. The U.S. Air Force is reportedly considering abandoning those already delivered in favor of new purchases. Touted by manufacturer Lockheed Martin as the most advanced fighting machines ever built, virtually the entire production run of over 100 machines so far has one glaring problem: they can't fight. Australia took delivery of two F-35A Lightning II aircraft amid much fanfare at the Avalon Air Show in Victoria earlier this year. Several more are in the late stages of construction, due for delivery next year. These are almost exactly the same in their technical specifications to the 108 F-35 as delivered so far to the United States Air Force. But a controversial development in delivery contract process known as concurrency has produced an aircraft with software and components that were never fully tested. The argument was computer simulation could streamline the whole process, eliminating risk, reducing cost and speeding up delivery. It didn't. Now two senior US Pentagon officials responsible for the F-35 program have admitted they are seriously considering abandoning vital upgrades and fixes of those aircraft already delivered. A major ongoing issue is its software, integrating a wide range of hardware, flight, sensor and weapon systems. An upgraded from its Block 2B to 3I version is underway, but neither delivers a fully functional combat aircraft. Nor does the next in the progression, the 3F, due next year. Then there are the many hardware issues built into the early production aircraft, many of which US defense auditors say pose serious safety risks. Australia has at least two F-35s that will likely require many millions being sunk into reconstruction and upgrade before they are fully capable of fighting on the front line. Or they could be restricted to limited training roles, reducing the number of the incredibly expensive aircraft available for active duty. Or they could be handed to pilots expected to fly into combat with the software and hardware equivalent of one arm tied behind their back. A spokesman for the defense minister has rejected any suggestions Australia's F-35s won't be combat-ready. Australia does not possess any F-35A Lightning II Block 2B variants, he said. Both of our planes were updated more than a year ago. The Australian F-35 is currently operating a much newer software package, the Block 3I. This is similar to the types of planes operating in South Korean military exercises a few weeks ago. The Australian fighters cannot be compared directly to the experiences of the United States Air Force. Australia's 72 Joint Strike Fighters will be the most potent warfighting planes in the world, but the U.S. Marines' F-35B jump jet variants being operated in South Korea are also not yet fully operational. Their initial operational capability, IOC, status means they are flying under restricted parameters and with limited sensor integration and weapons loads. And they face the same, if not more, costly hurdles to bring them up to full operational capability as their Air Force F-35A siblings. In 2015, the U.S. Director of Operational Test and Evaluation Michael Gilmore wrote testing at that time did not and could not demonstrate that the Block 2B F-35B is operationally effective or suitable for use in any type of limited combat operation, or that it is ready for real-world operational deployments. The consequences of that finding have come home to roost. From a production perspective, we have literally 150 to 160 modifications that have to occur on some of our tails to get it to a Block 3F configuration, US Vice Admiral Matt Winter, head of the F-35 Joint Program Office, told the Air Force Association's annual Air, Space and Cyber Conference earlier this week. Our mods program is almost as exciting and dwarfing our production program. The Pentagon is considering not modifying all 108 F-35s in its possession to the Block 3F standard. While itself far below advertised F-35 capabilities, the 3F version of the aircraft and its operating system will enable it to carry and use a selection of air-to-air and air-to-ground weapons. The reason given, doing so would be very expensive. It may be cheaper to just buy new ones off the production line. We're looking at a solution space that gives our warfighter options, Admiral Winter said, while admitting his office was expecting a more logical, more digestible delivery schedule meaning further delays. US Air Force Chief of Staff David Goldfein also admitted at the Air Force Association conference that there was debate within the Pentagon. You're going to see us continuing to do a business case analysis of retrofit of these aircraft, he said earlier this week. The upshot is dozens of early delivery Air Force F-35s are likely to relegated to training duties. They can't use a worthwhile load of missiles or bombs. Nor can they effectively fire their 20mm cannon. And then there is a swath of yet-to-be-addressed safety issues. Buyer beware, given those aircraft so far delivered to Australia are essentially the same specification. The Royal Australian Air Force must now either find the money to fix those F-35s it already has or accept a smaller than expected fighting force than expected. Exactly how much additional delay these fixes place on the F-35 program is also an issue. The RAF has already had to buy a handful of F-A-18 Super Hornets to maintain its capabilities while it waits. It had hoped the F-35A would begin to enter limited service in July 2019, with full operational capability by 2023. Project Director for F-35 Mission Systems at Australia's Capability Acquisition and Sustainment Group, CASG, Stephen McDonald, told Australian Defence magazine in July he did not see any risk in terms of Australia's F-35's capabilities. The expanded range of weapons needed for Australian initial operational capability had already been tested, he said. The 3F software is being tested quite strongly right now, he told ADM. That will be delivered in 2018 and we don't go to IOC until the end of 2020, so we've got 2 years float and all systems are go. But that was before the senior F-35 project commanders began casting doubt on the viability of upgrading existing aircraft to the Block 3F standard. A defense policy investigator at the Project on Government Oversight recently summed up the confusion and controversy surrounding the F-35 project. Price tag is the only thing stealthy about the F-35. Australia reportedly took delivery of its first 2 F-35s for $94.60, 119 Australian dollars and 50 cents million each. Lockheed Martin is boasting it has since reduced the per-aircraft procurement cost of an F-35A to $85, 107 Australian dollars and 40 cents million. This may be why the USAF is considering dumping its non-examples in favor of fresh copies. But the price tag does not include the incredible research and development component of the cost nor the long list of updates, spare parts and man-hours needed to make each one operational. Australia ordered its first 14 F-35s in November 2009. A second batch was ordered in April 2014, this time for 58 aircraft. An order for a potential final tranche of 28 is yet to be made.
There's lightning in the sky as the Air Force's premier 5th-generation fighter prepares to land at RAF Fairford. The F-35A Lightning II's first UK visit demonstrates a forward ready-now mindset made possible through extensive coordination and joint efforts.
There's been a lot of hands in it, from maintainers to logistics to support, from both the military side to the industry side. It really was a team effort, and us landing here with these 3 aircraft right here is really the culmination of that teamwork that has now come together.
That teamwork has allowed this elite aircraft to make its debut at the world's largest military air show, the Royal International Air Tattoo.
I think it's key to be at RIAT for the main fact that a lot of people have never seen this aircraft before. Okay, they've read about it, both good and bad, and now we are here to kind of tell our side of the story when it comes to the F-35.
And that story will resonate for some time in the United Kingdom, as the F-35 is set to become a permanent resident at RAF Lakenheath. This strategic basing strengthens the U.S. Air Force's forward-ready now capabilities throughout the European theater.
It allows us to go to places that we can't go with 4th-generation fighters. It allows us to go to those places that are heavy threat environments, both air-to-air and air-to-ground. It allows us to penetrate those with our stealth, advanced avionics. It is a game changer when it comes to fighting wars.
As the U.S. and U.K. both prepare to receive the F-35, this historic landing strengthens the long-standing bond between the two countries, setting the stage for continued interoperability. Sergeant Jeff Saint-Sever, RAF Fairford, United Kingdom.